Hi, I'm Mark James. I'm the design manager with Q-PAC, and we're here at AHR 2026. So one of our big goals for this project was making sure that we were actually communicating requirements and letting Skyline sort of run with the design and give them full creative flexibility, but making sure that it stayed with our brand. The thing that stands out to me the most is actually one of the initial calls we had to Skyline. The work that they put into researching the company and make sure they understood the product just blew me away. It got to the point where they were actually suggesting elements for the booth that we were planning, but we hadn't even mentioned them to them, and they were just spot on with it. So our first step was really putting together an RFP of what our requirement elements are, what our negotiables were, and then from there, they came in strong with their first proposal, and it was really just iterating on there. The focus for the booth is on the customer experience. We wanted to capture the full journey from when they're first selecting a fan. So we have 4 configurator stations. They can input their airflow, pressure, and dimensions, and get an instantaneous selection of what we're recommending for their fan. From there, we've got a nice big LED screen behind us that we can see the installation process. And then we've got the finished product on display, so you can actually touch it, see it operating, and get a feel for what you're really gonna have. Our big goal was just customer interactions and make sure they've got the space to work with our engineers, our customer success team, and get a feel for the product, interact with it, so hands-on, but also just something that's a little bit more relaxing, not cramped. We've even got a little lounge station that we've had many propped up in. So with the preview process, there's always a little bit of anxiety working with a partner for the first time, and Skyline really put us at ease. It was comfortable going to the facility. We got to see the booth, and just the first impression, we were immediately at ease. Even their team, they had to assemble the fans. They're not in the industry, they've never worked on it before, and they got the assembly perfect. The colors, the scale and everything really just hit the mark and put us at ease to where we didn't have to stress coming into AHR 2 months later. Installation was just as seamless as the design process. We showed up, the crew's already on site getting things situated. They even ended up ahead of schedule getting the sign up, so we could kind of just sit back, relax, be on site to answer any questions, but we weren't really having to do any lifting, any directions, and really any corrections. That was the big thing for us. So we've had a lot of positive feedback on the booth, gushing reviews, but my favorite elements were actually the fan displays and just how polished they look, how strong and sturdy, but also minimalistic. So the other aspect that we're really happy with is how much of this booth that we get to keep. So the sign that we've got hanging up, we've got the fan displays, they're actually gonna come back to our factory and live throughout the year until we bring them back to AHR 2027. We're midway through the show, and we are already looking at ideas for next year and how we can continue to grow this partnership with Skyline.